What is going on, everybody? I'm back with another video now. In today's video, guys, we're going to be ranking all of the guns in PUBG from worst to best, in my opinion. And the last time I made this video, I had a lot of mixed opinions on this. And I've learned a lot more from back then, and I have different opinions on them. Now, a couple of announcements. I haven't got the Goosebumps stuff yet, but in the next video, possibly we'll have it. Also, I'm going to be a 3rd degree level 4 black belt, which is like at the top of my limits, guys. I cannot test until another 4 years for my 4th degree black belt. Isn't that amazing? It's like I'm at the top of my limits. So I'm kind of an indoor and outdoor kid, and I like making gaming videos for you guys. And for this entire video, we're going to be going in the training mode, so I can show you every weapon without having to cut out the videos to try to find every single weapon in the game. So we are going to start out with the pistols. So let's go into the training, which is going to be a lot easier. You can get every weapon that you need, melee, everything. Now, we're not going to be ranking the melee or the grenades, just the guns in particular. So as you can see, we're in, and we're going to rank the pistols first. Now, one of the tips for PUBG, and this is one of the biggest tips, is try to play with every weapon in the game. Going into training mode never hurts, and playing with every weapon doesn't either. Because if you're playing a game and you're always playing with the same weapon and you don't find it, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? What are you going to do? So we're going to start off with the pistols. And I really want to remind you guys this. Try to use different weapons, and going into training mode is very useful. So it looks like, where's our pistols? So some of them are in 9, most of them are in 9mm. So the worst pistol, in my opinion, and you can already see where I'm heading towards, is the revolver pistol. Literally the worst, practically the worst gun in the game, and I'm going to show you firing mode for it. It's a decent weapon. It's not, it's actually the worst gun in the game, but it's not very good. As you can see, I had to shoot that target 3 times to get it down, and it takes forever to reload. I think this gun was more meant to be like a traditional weapon, kind of a historic weapon, rather than some weapon everybody would have. But I just don't like this weapon a lot. The iron sights aren't enough to aim, and 7.62 ammo is very, very powerful, but it just takes forever to reload. So for the next weapon, let me turn down the volume a little bit on the game so you guys can hear me, not the people trying to distract me. So the next, second worst weapon in the game is, and you can already see me heading towards it, the R45 pistol. And I believe this one's only for Miramar. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, some guns are only for a certain map. Like Miramar has its sawed-off, also Sandhawk has its sawed-off, and it has its R45 and the Winchester and everything like that. The thing I don't like about this gun is it uses 0.45 ammo. The iron sights, once again, are just not enough for me. Well, I guess you can put a scope on this. But it's just, once again, takes forever to reload, doesn't deal very much damage. And it's just not better than most other pistols, and you can't really shoot as much fast as the other pistols can. So it's not very useful, especially if you're playing sniper training. In sniper training, I love to get a sidearm. That way, when you're coming into close combat with someone, you're not having to use your sniper to try to kill them. And this weapon's just not very useful for things like that. So the next pistol, which I don't know if you would consider this as a pistol, is the sawed-off shotgun. So, I have no idea. Just judge me if you think it's a pistol or not. But the sawed-off is technically a sidearm. In case you didn't know, this actually can work as a sidearm. You can put this as a sidearm in your inventory. But what I hate about this is lowest range pistol. Deals a lot of damage, but lowest range. I'd honestly rather just have a regular shotgun than having a sidearm like this. it's just so terrible. Very slow, not very good with the range. It's definitely better than the R45 and the revolver. I like to say it's good for like two-shotting a bot or something, but it's just not something you want to come into close combat with somebody. But it's good for a starting weapon, I guess you can say, and I think that's why they put this in the sidearm section. So that is the number 3 spot. So aiming for the next, and I cannot remember what ammo, I think it uses the 9mm, is the P1 8BC. And some people will disagree with me with this, but the thing I absolutely hate about the P1 8C is that its drop weight. Look at that. You see how the bullets are going sideways? You can't really see it, but the bullets are kind of aiming kind of like a VSS would. You guys all know how the VSS works. It's the exact same thing with the P81C. Because this uses 9mm, which isn't the best ammo in the world, hate to say it, it has like this drop rate for some reason that kind of shoots the bullets sideways instead of directly forward, which I hate. And a lot of people compare this to the Scorpion pistol on PC and Xbox One, but it's just, I don't like this weapon. I know a lot of people kind of use it as a sidearm, like Uzi, I guess you can say, but it's just not really the sharpest tool in the shed, and I don't see why so many people like it. It's okay, it's definitely better than the other weapons, it's faster, but the only problem is that drop rate on this weapon is just so bad. So the next weapon, taking the number 2 spot for the best pistols, is the P92. And these last 2 weapons can have scopes. Well, actually most of them can have scopes. But just in general, the P92 and the P1911 are both just one of the best pistols in the game because they can have all the attachments that you need, suppressors, flash hiders, everything like that can make this an amazing weapon. And it's a great sidearm pistol, especially the P92. But what compares to the P92 is the 0.45 P198 1cc, and I just love that weapon, so let me show you the statistics of it. It's just a little bit better. I don't know what is with it, but it's a little bit faster and a little bit better, so I'm going to demonstrate to you what it is like. Okay. You just see how much faster this is than the other pistols, and it's way better than the P1 8BC, in my opinion. It doesn't have that drop rate, and it's just a lot better in general. And it can have more attachments to itself. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that is for the pistol section. So, let's get on to the shotguns. So, for the shotguns, let me pull it up real quick. I have a paper so I can remind myself. So there's only 3 shotguns, so it's not very hard to figure out what is the best shotgun and what is the worst. But the worst shotgun, in my opinion, and I've changed my mind completely on this weapon, is the S12K. Now, a lot of people like this weapon just because you can put a scope on it. That's literally it. Just because you can. But the thing that makes this weapon so terrible is the recoil. When you're putting you can put an scope on this, by the way, and you're trying to shoot someone from that far away, the recoil, literally, look at the armory, the recoil is the worst in the entire game. It just shoots so up, watch this. See that? You can still hit the target, but the recoil is just so bad, and I don't get why they put a scope on this weapon if it's so, if the recoil is so bad. Especially if you're trying to aim, because an 8x scope can go all the way down. And that just does not make sense to me that they did that. The recoil is just terrible. And in quick matches, sometimes all they give you is shotguns. And a lot of people like to carry this shotgun, but it's not a very good shotgun, to be honest. The recoil is just very bad. It's worse than the pump or the lever action. So the next one is the lever action, the the S686. The thing I like about this is the recoil is a lot better, and even though you can't put a scope on it, it's just a lot better in general. I only got a little bit up, and it's a great two-shotter. Shoot someone once, knock them out, shoot them twice. Very, very great for beginning of the games. I really like this. It's kind of like the Winchester in ways. It's kind of meant to be a little bit of a historic weapon. So I really like the lever action. It's just so easy to work with and not very, very hard. You don't have to deal with that bad recoil like in the S1 and 2K. But the best shotgun, as you've already guessed, is the pump shotgun. And it's just like the lever action, but it has 5 ammo instead of just 2. And it's a lot faster in my opinion, as you can see. So easy to work with. 3 more ammo shots that you get in case you missed the first time. And it's very great for the beginning games in intense firefights. When you're starting the game, let's say you land at boot camp and all you got is a pump shotgun. It's very, very great to kill off that person all the way. I just absolutely love the pump shotgun. Very easy to work with in my opinion. No bad recoil, and even if you can't use a scope, it's still an amazing weapon to be honest. Oh, this guy, wow. But just very easy to work with in my opinion. So fast. And just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think this is overall the best shotgun. So, on to the next category is the SMGs. And there are 4 SMGs in the game. And I actually heard that on the PC, they're going to be changing some of the ammo that SMGs are using. So the Vector is now going to use the 9mm ammo, and the UMP is going to use the 0.45 ammo. So it's going to be very weird to see how that works and everything like that. I think it's going to be very interesting if they add it to mobile. But the worst SMG, in my opinion, is the Uzi. I used to really like the Uzi, and it's very great for the beginning of the game. It's kind of like the pump shotgun where it's good for the first 5 minutes of the game when you're in that intense fights, but then it's like you're going to find an AR and it'll be whatever. And the iron sights are just not enough. You can't put a scope onto this weapon. It's very hard to work with the iron sights because you can only aim from... It's kind of hard to aim, you know. It's okay. I see a lot of people using this weapon, and the recoil is a little bit off. Those 9mm ammo just really throws off the recoil for some reason, as you can see. But it's okay, decent weapon. It would be perfect. I tell you what, this weapon would be perfect for a sidearm weapon. I'm telling you right now, if they added this for sidearm, I'd have a lot of fun with the Uzi. But it's just nothing compared to the other ones, just due to the recoil sometimes, and the fact that it uses 9mm ammo. I don't know what's with 9mm ammo, but it always does this. It makes this weird effect on the weapon, and it's just nothing compared to the other SMGs. So the second worst SMG is the Thompson SMG, and I don't know why they changed the name of this. They now call the Tommy gun the Thompson SMG, and I think that's the actual name, but a lot of people use Tommy gun for short. Once again, this is kind of like the Uzi, where it has iron sights, which aren't the best. And once again, this is good for the beginning of the game, but not for the ending. It's great for shooting the tyrant out. Well, I guess not, but it's just great for like killing zombies out, especially in zombie mode. You know, it's very great for that to use the 45 ammo that isn't very rare. You can kill off zombies pretty nice. Other than that, I don't really like the iron sights. They're just not always the best. Once again, you can't put a scope on this. It's great for the beginning of the game, but when it comes to the end, it's not going to be very useful. So, I'm going to show you the statistics of this. It's great for killing off zombies, don't get me wrong. Like, I've used the Tommy gun many times for killing off zombies. Very easy and good for close range. But I don't know why they changed the name of it. So, the next worst weapon, or I guess the second best SMG, is the Vector. So we're gonna get the Vector, and the thing that compares with the Vector compared to the Thompson SMG is that it can have a scope and many much more attachments. I know that the Vector can have a larger. It can have 100 ammo, which is great. It's almost like it's an LMG in some ways, but I just like the Vector, and it's better. It's actually a good close range weapon, better close range weapon than Tommy gun, to be honest with you. Like I said, it's great for close range. I used to use this weapon a lot more, but it's okay. It's decent. It's still not very good, but it is better than the Tommy gun. So, the best SMG is the UMP. I absolutely love the UMP, and it almost reminds me of an AR for some reason. So, where is okay, there it is. So, we're going to demonstrate the UMP. And the UMP can take all the way up to the 6x scope. It's almost like an AR, to be honest with you. And the iron sight on this is perfect. I actually like it. It can have a faster reloading time. It has a larger ammo sack than other SMGs have. It actually has the second most out of all of them, but is better than Tommy gun, to be honest with you. It's almost like an AR. I can almost compare this to some of the ARs in the game, and it barely has any recoil. Great firing weapon. It's very great. Best SMG in my opinion. So let's move on to the LMGs. I believe that's my next category. Yes, we have the LMGs. So the LMGs are kind of a side thing. There's only 2 LMGs, so I'm going to grab both of them. M249 and the DP28. Look at how many weapons use. Oh my god, that's awesome. But yeah, we're going to demonstrate both of these. So these weapons I actually find the LMGs pretty rare. There's only 2 of them, but I find the LMGs to be very, very rare and uncommon. And they have probably the slowest reloading time, but they deal a lot of damage. They have the largest ammo capacity out of any weapon in the game, and they're very great if you want to kill zombies off. Even better than the Tommy gun. Great for killing like the Tyrant, especially with the DP28 or even the M249. But taking the number 2 spot is going to be the M249. A lot of people might disagree with this because it's an airdrops only, and you can't put any attachments. Well, actually, you can only put a scope on this. But it's great for proning down. It's great for endgame, and I think that's why they put the M249 in airdrops, because it's great for endgame and proning and things like that. But the reloading time is so slow. So slow. But what I do love about it is that it does have the largest ammo sack in the game. But it's just so slow, and I never seen how it dealt so much damage, to be honest with you. I could rather use an AR and probably deal more damage out of someone. But it is great, especially when you prone. The recoil is a lot less. Barely any recoil. But I just think the DP28 is better. The reloading time is better. Of course, once again, you can only add a scope. But it's in general better weapon. Just due to the fact that it can reload better. And I think the recoil is actually slightly better. And the fact that it uses 7.62 ammo, and 7.62 ammo is the second best ammo in the game, aside from the 300 Magnum. But I just like the DP28 in general better. It's almost like a good old-fashioned, like, AR kind of. Well, not really an AR, but it's got that kind of sense to me. It could be a good side weapon, like kind of like a sniping weapon. Once again, it's great for proning, but I just think the DP28 is better in general. Reloading time's better. Even though it has a less ammo capacity, it's just great. I just like it. And it was hard to decide between these two, actually. Probably one of the hardest decisions I made in between all these weapons. So next up is the ARs, which is the biggest category in this. So we are going to take this step by step. And there are some new ARs added all the time. So I'd probably have to redo this all the time. But the worst AR, and I think everybody can agree with me with this, and this is a new one, is the MK47 Mutant. And I don't understand how this is an AR, people. Just tell me, how is this an AR? It almost feels like a marksman rifle in a way. Its recoil is really bad. I don't know why the recoil is so bad on 7.62 ARs. But it's slower than the other weapons. And it has a smaller ammo capacity than the other weapons. And it's slower. Bad recoil. And I just absolutely hate the MK47. It's almost like a sniper. Like, I don't know why, but it reminds me of a sniper. And it's slower than the other ARs. Bad recoil, once again. And less ammo capacity. That's what I just absolutely hate about this MK47 Mutant, and I don't know why they added it to the game. It's just really, really bad. But the second worst AR in the game, which is still pretty bad, don't get me wrong, but I still like it a little bit, is the M16 A4. So the M16, not the M4, the M16. The thing I hate about this weapon is that it is so incredibly loud. Unless you have a suppressor, it sounds absolutely beautiful. But without a suppressor, and suppressor for ARs are very rare. You can find them in airdrops, but if you're finding them on ground, it's extremely rare. But it's the fact that this weapon's so loud and the recoil is worse than the M4 puts this on the number 2 spot. So let's go on to the next weapon in our category. And this is the AKM. The thing that I hate about the AKM is that it's not very good for aiming. Without a scope, and a lot of times I get myself caught without a scope with the AKM, it's very, very bad for aiming. But the thing that puts this from the others is that its recoil is so bad. And if you're trying to aim from somebody far away, and all you got is like 2 ARs and you're using the AKM, it's going to be pretty hard to shoot them because the recoil is really bad. Probably one of the worst recoils. Probably the second worst recoil, to be honest with you. And it's a decent weapon, not very bad. It's good for killing off zombies because it uses 7.62 ammo, but I just don't like this mainly because of the recoil. So shooting this guy at far range, even though it's an AR, makes it very difficult. So next up is the AKM. So a little bit better than the AKM is the M762. What makes this simply better is that the M762 is basically an upgraded version of the AKM. What I can say about the M762 is I hate the iron sight for this. It's a lot worse than the AKM, to be honest. But it's basically the AKM upgrade. And it deals better damage, less recoil, and still a little bit of recoil, but it's just better, does more damage, less recoil. Basically an upgraded version. It's a new weapon, but I still like it, and it's a little bit better than the AKM. So next up is the Scar. That is in the 5.56 category. So we got the Scar here. With the suppressor, this sounds amazing, by the way. But what I don't like about this car is the iron sight. Especially at the beginning of the game, you don't have a scope yet. Trying to shoot someone can make it very difficult. And the recoil is a little bit off. But I still like this better than 1763. Slightly better recoil. I like it for it's kind of like the M16A4 in a way. Less louder. But it's good for it's actually less faster than the other weapons. So it can almost act as like a little sniper for you, in a way, I guess you can say. But it's just there's still a little bit of recoil in this, so I'm putting it at this spot. Next up is the newest weapon in the game, and it is only in Vikendi, the winter map. Is the G36C, and I've only played with this one once. But what makes this better than the Scar is that it's a lot less louder. It's almost got like a mini suppressor, like a medium suppressor. It's probably one of the most silent ARs in the game, and the recoil is barely recoil unless you're shooting fast. It's a pretty fast weapon, but I like this weapon. It's okay. It's decent. It's got nothing really wrong with it, but nothing really too special about it. So I'm going to put it right here on the list. Practically the middle of the list. So next up is the Groza, which is an airdrops only AR. But what makes this a little bit better is it deals more damage and faster. Even though it sounds louder, it is just a lot faster, and I absolutely hate this iron sight. But it is just so much faster, and you're not going to normally find this without an scope, because you're most likely going to get a scope with your airdrop or a suppressor or something with this Groza. So this Groza is normally going to have a suppressor and a scope with it, because airdrops are usually the end of the game. So this is what makes it a little bit better than the G36C. So next up is the M4. And this is a pretty old weapon, but I still love it. Actually, I forgot about the QBZ, but I'm going to put that before the M4. So the QBZ is the next one. And this is only in Sandhawk only. This is probably one of the best reloading time weapons. Pretty silent weapon, great. It probably has one of the slowest reloading times. Great recoil, not very bad recoil. Pretty silent weapon, not very loud. But it's a little bit better than the Groza. Slightly better than the Groza in some ways. And I can see why a lot of people use this weapon. I mean, a lot of people. So next up is the M416. And this has been in the game forever. And I still love this weapon. It is amazing. One of the fastest ARs. Barely any recoil. Not very loud. Great power to it. The iron sight is actually not bad, but if you have a scope with this, it's decent, especially with the mini red dot, near red dot. There you go. But this weapon is just absolutely great, and I love to have this as my AR in my inventory. Absolutely great weapon, no doubt. But the best AR in the game is the AUG. The AUG, and this is airdrops only. And it's basically like the M762, but it's an upgraded version of the M16. Guarantee you, fastest AR in the game. Probably one of the best capacities. Same reloading time as the QBZ, I would say, but it's a lot faster, it deals more power. And when you see someone with an AUG, you know you're doomed. I mean, this weapon is awesome. Great speed, really great power. And I just absolutely love the AUG. And this puts it at the #1 spot for the ARs. So next up is the marksman rifles. I actually split up all of the sniper rifles into two, with the marksman rifles and the sniper rifles, because they're different things, obviously. So, for the marksman rifles, the worst marksman rifle in the game has to be the VSS. I used to love this weapon, and I don't know why. But what makes this weapon so bad is it has that effect to it where it shoots sideways. As you can see, you see how you can literally see the bullets moving. And it's kind of like a slow weapon. Like, you can see the bullets moving, and that's what disappoints me. It's like the bullets are slower than other bullets in the game. And that's what brings it down. The drop rate is really bad. So it's going to take you probably an entire about 3 times just to hit somebody. And then it's probably going to take you about two tries of ammo sack to actually kill someone with this. So it's very, very hard to master because the drop rate, well, the training session has ended. Well, we're going to go back in. So, yeah, but I used to love this weapon. And the fact that it uses 9mm ammo 9mm ammo does not deal a lot of damage. So it puts it aside from the other marksman rifles because the other marksman rifles either use 5.56, 300 Magnum, or 7.62. And those are all very, very good ammo. So, yeah, the VSS is just the absolute worst sniper in the game. So we are going to go on to the next one, which is going to be the QBU, which is also Sandhawk only. So you can only find this in Sandhawk. It's a very great proning weapon, but I just never seen a good thing about the QBU. It's pretty loud, to be honest, but if you get a suppressor for snipers, it can sound pretty good. But I've just never seen anything really too special about the QBU. It's not very rare. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. No problems with it, but it just doesn't really have anything special that brings it up on the list. So let's go on to the next one, which is the SKS. And what makes this weapon slightly better is the fact that it uses 7.62, which is slightly better than 5.56. But what puts this on the number 3 worst spot for the marksman rifles is that it has the same kind of effect as the VSSs. And when you're trying to shoot someone far away, it's kind of hard when the bullet goes sideways when you're trying to shoot someone. You can literally see this. And it almost feels like the bullets go slower than average. So it's kind of hard to shoot people with this weapon because for some reason it has this weird drop rate. And what I like about the VSS is it has a built-in scope and suppressor, but it just has such a bad drop rate. And it's the same with the SKS. Very silent, not very, well, kind of bad recoil, to be honest. That may be why it has that bad drop rate. But it has bad drop rate, kind of bad recoil. It uses 7.62, which is better than the QBU, but it's not very rare. I still like this weapon. I've used it more than the QBU. But it's just not really the best marksman rifle, to be honest. I used to really like this, but it's just gotten a little bit worse. So next up is the Mini 14, and I absolutely love this weapon, especially in sniper training. It's very fun to use this weapon as like a semi-automatic rifle. Like, look at how fast this is. It's so loud and annoying, but with a suppressor, it sounds awesome. So it's not going to be the best marksman rifle due to the sound. Not bad recoil either. Great weapon, not very rare, but just the fact that it's kind of loud and annoying. I don't like this weapon, but what I do like about it is that it's absolutely amazing for sniper training. It's great to kind of have as an AR almost. So next up is going to be the SLR. And this is like, once again, like the M762 and things like that. It's basically, in my opinion, an upgraded version of the SKS with no bad recoil, no bad drop rate, and it's actually a little bit. It's a little bit quieter, to be honest. So I like the SLR because it's kind of like an upgraded version of the SKS. And the best marksman rifle in the game is the MK14, which is airdrops only, but still amazing. I mean, this is like one of the best sniper rifles I've ever had. No bad recoil, not very bad. It's not very loud, and I hate loud snipers, by the way. And it's overall a very great weapon. And it has some great power to it. I just absolutely love it. It's just a decent weapon, and it's better than all the other marksman rifles. It's just good. It's just good things. So I like the MK14. And I can see why it's airdrops only. It has great power. Very easy to master. Probably one of the easiest rifles to master because it's a marksman rifle, of course, which marksman rifles are easier to master than sniper rifles. And it's not faster than the Mini 14, but quieter. And it's in airdrops only, so it makes sense. So next up is sniper rifles. And there are 4 sniper rifles. And I can already tell you already know what the worst sniper rifle in the game is. And this is more like a lever action rifle. Is the Winchester 95. I think this weapon was more meant to be like a historic weapon for Myanmar. It's not meant to be like a oh my god kind of weapon. More of like a historic weapon for the game. But it's okay. The fact that it uses 0.45 ammo and 0.45 ammo does not do very much damage brings it down. But it's very fast and it's very efficient. But it can't even have a scope on it. It uses 45 ammo and it's overall the best or the worst sniper rifle. So next up is the Kar 98. Whoa, just one of the most casual sniper rifles to be honest with you. Very, very great to use. Not very rare. It's kind of like the SKS and the Mini 14. No airdrops only, and it's great to use. So, let me find where this thing is. Where is it? I cannot find the Kar 98, guys. Where is the Kar 98? Where did they... Oh, there it is. Okay. There is the Kar 98. Okay. Finally. It's just a very, very great weapon to use. Not bad reloading time, actually. Pretty fast reloading time. And I found that it can actually penetrate through level 2 armor. And a lot of people have level 2 armor. So if you can master this weapon, you can one-shot people, and it's just very, very great. And I just love the Kar 98. Oh boy, I used to hate this weapon. But it's kind of like my old-fashioned kind of thing now. Next up is the M24, which is like the loudest rifle in the game. The loudest gun in the game. Listen to this. If you're at the end of the game using an M24, somebody's going to know where you are. But what makes this gun so great is it doesn't have bad recoil, and it has amazing power to it. I think it can penetrate through level 3 armor, but it has amazing power to it. Great weapon to it for you, and the fact that it uses 7.62 ammo makes it so powerful and so great. But what doesn't put it at the #1 spot is because it's just not very... It's so loud. But what the best sniper rifle in the game is the AWM. And it's airdrops only. M24 used to be airdrops only, but what I love about the AWM is that it has the literal best power in the game, best range in the game. I didn't say this, but the M24 has great range as well. And it's basically an OP weapon. And it's almost like it has a built-in suppressor for me. It's like, it's not very loud, not bad recoil, pretty fast to reload, but what I don't like about this weapon is you don't get a lot of ammo when you get this weapon, and I can see why. 300 Magnum is very rare, and they only give you like 20 ammo when you get this weapon in airdrops. But without a sight on this weapon, I don't know what to tell you, because it's very hard to aim. It's only got like this little top part that you can aim with. But it's overall the best and most OP weapon in the game, to be honest with you. And a side weapon is actually the crossbow. And this only has it. The crossbow kind of has its own little category. But I love the crossbow. It's basically an AWM, but less rare and less range. This weapon can penetrate through level 3 armor, by the way. Not very good reloading time, but if you put a quiver on it, it actually makes the reloading time faster. But it's a decent little weapon, and I use it all the time. It's actually my favorite weapon in the game. And I definitely recommend practicing with the crossbow, and you can become very good with it. You can master with it. And once again, this weapon does not have a lot of ammo. It only has 10 bolts or 5 bolts when you find it. So you're not going to have a lot of enemies to kill with it. But it's still a great weapon. Not the worst weapon. It's kind of like a side sniper weapon. When you find a sniper, you can trade it out for the sniper you want. So those were literally all the weapons in the game. Ranked from worst to best. And that was, oh my god, this is 40 minutes long. I didn't even pay attention. But yeah, those were all the weapons in the game ranked worst to best. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, guys, and I will see you in the next video.